Of TFNN. The Morning Market Kickoff with your host, Tommy O'Brien. Now, Tommy O'Brien.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Tommy O'Brien, coming to you live from TFNN, 8:30 a.m. Monday morning, 60 minutes ago until that opening bell, and we have markets opening limit down. The Fed surprise cut of a full point over the weekend. Rates basically at zero. Excuse me, and you've got markets down 5%. Looks to open about 9 or 10% in the red right now when you pull up just the SPY ETF. Jumping right into it, we'll pull up a chart of the S&P 500. We get the futures up here. We've been ticking across 25.55, basically down about 5% in the market. That number ticking across. We only traded for a few minutes last night when the futures opened at about 6 o'clock. By 6:10, you were at limit down in the S&Ps, even when the Fed had announced at about 5:30 p.m. Eastern time, between 5 and 5:30, a full basis point cut. Also, $700 billion in quantitative easing. The market reacting as in not enough, some fiscal stimulus needed no matter what interest rates are at. Hopefully Congress comes together and does something to repair or mitigate the harm this is going to do, this type of pause over the weekend. A lot of places, whether it was you had Boston, there's now gatherings of 25 people or more not allowed, except for grocery stores, some things, but a lot of stories breaking over the weekend, the market reacting. S&P trading at 25.55, jumping over to the Dow right now. You have the Dow down about 1,000 points, currently trading 21,798. You see the fall off. I mean, quite a run that we had on Friday, up to almost 23,000. And again, the S&Ps to go back to, because we'll jump over to the SPY so you can kind of see where we're at. This market down 5%. The big run Friday, the last half hour, I mean, amazing. You went 175 almost S&P points in that last 35 minutes. Just a remarkable run. You don't see many runs like that. But guess what? Limit down is 25.55. And if you pull up the SPY right now, you'll see that the SPY, which is trading now at the bid offer 242.67 by 242.69. This closing at $269. So you're down about $27, which represents almost 10% from the close on Friday in the SPY, a slight indication. Now, of course, you have the 7% circuit breaker. The market will pause for 15 minutes. It's pretty remarkable how familiar we're all with this these circuit breakers now. I think this is going to be the third time that the 7% will be triggered. That should be triggered probably all but expected sometime after the opening of the market at 9:30. Markets will pause for 15 minutes. You'll come back. If it hits 13%, another 15-minute pause. Then you're off to 20%. If it hits 20%, we're done trading for the day. Nasdaq 100, 75.41. That market closing on Friday at, yes, is that right? Yes, closing at almost 8,000, 75.41 right now, down 359 or almost 5%. Some of the stocks to pull it up, I mean, big numbers that these equities are going to open down. Apple closed at 277. You're trading right now at a 241 and 13-cent bid versus 241.40 ask. You're talking about $37 in the price of Apple. I mean, man, you could have said to yourself, you know, Thursday, what an opportunity to buy Apple. That pop on Friday, you made it almost a 280. Geez, you could have gotten into Apple at whether it was 252, 240, 254 on Thursday. What a buying opportunity I missed. It's now at 280, and just like that, Apple's now going to open at 241. It traded to a low of 235. Microsoft, trading lower as well from about 161 down about $20 at 139. Google shares this morning, 11.05, down more than $1,000. Down more than $100 from where it was trading at on Friday. Facebook shares, 154, closed at about 170. Amazon, that's what I want to pull up. Amazon closed at $17.85. You're down $150 at $16.35. But Apple shares really, really getting hit. Quite a move to lower prices for Apple. Jumping over to commodities, crude oil, quite a trade lower as well. So Trump press conference 3:30 on Friday. Right towards the end of it, he announces that they are going to fill up the petroleum reserves. You have oil trade from $32.20 up in a heartbeat, like $2 to $34.15. But I mean, check that out. Talk about a high. You make that high. Markets open last night. Oil trades lower with the markets. You're now at $29.39 after hitting above $34 on the news that the government was filling up the coffers with some cheap oil. Gold contract, quite a trade lower as well. Gold with some serious volatility recently. Not that long ago, just on Thursday, 1636. We're trading at 1469. Gold trades to a low about an hour ago, 45 minutes ago, of 1456. The silver contract has really fallen out of bed. 1268. We are getting a pop. I mean, just an amazing move in the last 45 minutes from 1184. But you went from 3 a.m. at 1457 down more than $2.50 to a low of 1178 in silver. And man, you got to pull up the silver chart for a little bit of longer term context. You pull that up, there's just the last 5 days going up to $17, let alone you put this on a yearly. I mean, quite the drop out of bed on silver to 1177. And let's just see where this goes on a longer term time frame, because now, yeah, you're now going back to 2009, and the low there, it did get down to, I believe it was under 877 on that low. So we're going to open today about 1261 in silver. In terms of other action, pulling up the VIX this morning. The VIX closing out Friday action. Let's get a little shorter time frame. 77.57. We'll see where that opens today. Quite a pop, but of course, the charge higher on Friday. We closed out that at 57.83. In terms of other news stories out there happening in the market, before we do, the euro-US dollar, a little Forex update. Accelerations everywhere overnight from 110.89 last night at about 11 p.m. Eastern time. The euro goes all the way to 112.36. You tick almost down a full point as well to 111.44, and the dollar yen with movement as well. I mean, check that out. Last night at 107.50, and you're down at 105.50. 2 full points in that dollar yen. In terms of other news out there, in terms of what is happening, the Fed emergency cut, whether they blew it or not, quite a reaction, right? They blew it in terms of it's not going to have an impact. You cut to zero. You could freak out the market. And then on top of that, they need even more stimulus than that type of buying, because the shock to this market could even be more of an impact. So those are the types of headlines. And these were the headlines I was talking about coming, whether it was across your phone, across your computer. New York City and L.A. closing bars, limiting restaurants to takeout and delivery. You also have Massachusetts, as I mentioned. They are limiting any type of gathering, 25 people or less only. The IMF says it's ready to mobilize its trillion-dollar lending capacity to fight the coronavirus. I imagine you're really going to see the market react when you finally get a deal from Congress, whether it says there's going to be unemployment pay for a year, not a year, for a month or two while everyone's out of work, whether it's stimulus for people suffering jobs hardships, small businesses, making sure they can stay afloat. I mean, restaurants, Starbucks now. No seats in Starbucks, I believe. You can go in there, you can get your drink, you got to leave. Small businesses, that's a tough one. Stay tuned, folks. We'll be coming right back.
If you're in the CD market and looking for a secure investment, the Tiger First Mortgage Program may work for you. The security for these first mortgages are building lots in the tax opportunity zone in St. Petersburg, Florida. The Tax Act of 2018 set up tax-free zones across the country where you can build and hold for 10 years and pay no tax on the profits, which makes these lots valuable. The investment is anywhere from $30,000 to $75,000. The interest paid is 7% yearly, paid on a monthly basis. According to Bankrate.com, the best rate for a 4-year CD in the country as of February 20th is 3.1%. A $50,000 investment at a normal 4-year CD rate of 3.1% would give you income of $1,550 per year or $6,200 over the 4-year period. That same $50,000 investment in the Tiger First Mortgage Program would give you $3,500 per year or $14,000 over the 4 years. Which would you prefer, $6,200 or $14,000 of interest on your investment? If you would like more information about the Tiger First Mortgage Program, you can call me at 877-518-9190. That's 877-518-9190. The gold market has taken off topside in a large way in 2020. If you want to take advantage of this sector, now is the time to subscribe to my Gold Report. The Gold Report took profits in 4 of its equities in the gold portfolio in the first week of January for a combined profit of 99.2%, with 2 positions left in the portfolio that have a profit of 67.5% as of January 7th. The Gold Report is a comprehensive look at the metals sector as well as the markets that move gold, which is the currency and bond markets. New subscribers get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to lose. Every Monday morning, I publish the Gold Report with coverage of gold, silver, bonds, the XAU, HUI, GDX, as well as more than 30 different mining equities. To see for yourself the types of profitable trades that are recommended within the Gold Report, sign up now by visiting TFNN.com. Don't miss out on the next great gold trade. Sign up today.
Are China A-shares hot or not? If you trade China A-shares, now may be time to take a closer look. Trade CHAU or CHAD, Directions Daily CSI 300 China A-share Bull and Bear ETFs. China A-shares in either direction. Visit directioninvestments.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
Welcome back, folks. Markets basically limit down, indicating more than a 5% loss at the open, and the ETF, the SPI, looking somewhere between a 9 and 10% loss at the open. Some of the news making headlines out there. The airline stocks, the banks really getting hurt today. Let's just jump around to some of the stocks as we look pre-market. You have United Airlines closed at $41. You're going to open $8, almost 20% lower. Delta Airlines closed at $38. You're going to open $6. What's that? 15% nonetheless at about $32. American, $14 down to $11.45. That's a $3 drop almost on a $14 stock. Boeing shares opening at about $147, closed at $170. Now some of the banks, JP Morgan, $103.99. You're going to open $17 lower at $86. The moves are just mammoth. From $86 after the close last Thursday to $103 by Friday afternoon, and we're back with an $86 print in the bid offer right now on JP Morgan. Citi, $50 down to $41. Bank of America, just mammoth moves. 24 down, $4.50 to $19.71, almost a 20% move on Bank of America as well. Some of the other stories out there making headlines. So you have Apple. They're going to close their retail stores for the next 2 weeks. That does not include its 42 in China, so they've already shut down. Disney, they're going to make Frozen 2 available to its streaming platform 3 months ahead of schedule. Not to call it capitalizing on this, but you're a streaming company. Of course, you're going to want your best products out there right now as people are preparing to stay home. Disney shares, talk about a hammered stock overall, but this morning looks like we're going to be down about $11 from the close. 102.52, opening about 91.50. Disney dealing with a lot of woes. Number one, you got the parks closed for Disney World and Disneyland. You go from $153.41 to $91. That's a $60 drop. That's 40% off the highs for Disney. That definitely exceed that 382 retracement. But what you also have to consider is, number one, Disney owns ESPN. ESPN, I'm not sure what they're going to do with the lack of programming from all the sports coming in. Not really sure what they're going to go to when you have hockey, baseball spring training, basketball canceled, college sports, NCAA March Madness. If you think about all of the programming combined between all college sports, you were just about to have all of the conference championships for basketball, let alone the March Madness, CBS owning March Madness there, right? But ESPN be able to play then the NIT tournament. So Disney dealing with that. But then you have their streaming company that you could definitely see Disney, and then you have the bundles with Disney and Hulu and ESPN. So it'll be interesting to see in terms of what the pain is from the hurt that they're taking, and then how that may transition to, at least in some part, to new additions that they may not have expected to the Disney Plus streaming service. Other companies out there, where were we? Because I saw one of them. So headlines, Germany sealing off their borders. European countries report record jump in coronavirus deaths. Myself, I saw the news that France and Spain were basically locking down all non-essential travel. And I believe that was on Saturday, and that was the first real wake-up for me personally, that France and Spain, I believe the two countries had between about 3,000 and 4,000 cases themselves, basically shutting things down. And maybe that's where you're going to see things trend, as in talking to friends even this weekend, and it said, you know, it's kind of an all or none type strategy is what I think should work, because how do you have kids off school, right? Whether it's 2 weeks down here in some areas. I know Boston, some areas canceled already for 6 weeks, as more cases up there from Boston. And how do you do that? But then are those kids allowed to just go hang out in retail malls? We've all seen pictures over the weekend, whether it was St. Patrick's Day in Boston, in Chicago, people just congregating. So if you cancel in one thing, things aren't canceled. Not sure it really has an effect. I imagine that you could see that type of just complete elimination. Still people going to work, people going to the grocery store, the pharmacies, but all social interactions of unnecessary nature kind of eliminated to pull people apart, and only working in small offices of whether it's, 25 people or less, without the need to travel on mass transit with lots of people. So we'll see if that happens. You have the CDC, this coming out last night, recommending canceling events with 50 or more people in the next 8 weeks throughout the U.S. I have a wedding that I was supposed to go to April 25th up in Boston, family member. Not sure that's going to be happening. Not sure that was going to be happening anyway. I have some time to see what's going on. But you may see an actual restriction put in from the government of limiting that type of thing nationwide. Domestic travel possibly going to get shut down. That's what you're seeing with the travel companies this morning, getting hit particularly hard on that. Other news out there. Caterpillar upgraded to a buy from a hold, said the heavy equipment maker's stock an attractive entry point following the pullback. You could probably make that argument with a lot of stocks in this market. 150 down to 87, down to up to 99. Caterpillar, though, the bid offer, they're going to open back at $89. Some of the other companies that I was just looking at on the radar. Uber particularly hit hard. If there's no travel, folks, I wonder what the percentage shares that may be out there of business they do from people who are on vacation of some sort, right? Let alone taking an Uber when you're going out for a restaurant, for a night on the town, you're drinking. Just so much of their business relying on social or business travel. So Uber trading from $42. We're going to open in a 19 handle with Uber this morning. Lyft shares, we were up all the way at $50, $54 in Lyft we were up to. On February 11th, we're now going to open at exactly $20 in the price of Lyft shares this morning. In terms of other news, we've talked about it a bit. Oil dropping more than 8%, breaking below $30. Quite the price tag. So that market coming off quite the week. Last week, checking out the oil market this morning, we're now at $29.06. Just oil continuing to plummet. When I did my morning market report this morning, it was about 6 in the morning. Oil was above $30. It's been quite a slide even from there. This is a 15-minute chart. We make a low in the last half hour. That low at $28.90 in the price of crude. Taking a little bit closer look at gold. You give a plug to Tom. He's got the gold report out there, front page of TFNN. He's got a new report out this morning. Great time to get into the gold report. Give it a 30-day trial. And gold, 1463, low of 1456. For some context, just backing gold up 20 days. Man, oh man, the roller coaster from under 1600 on February 28th. We reached $1,700, 1704. That on March 8th. And just like that, gold trades down almost $250 from March 8th to March 16th, 1464. But silver, my goodness, silver, you back it up, $18.92. You were just at $19, and we're getting $11.77, more than a $7 drop in the price of silver from that February 24th. Quite a price tag for sure. Other headlines, just seeing what else we have on the radar. You got Apple, as if you need more bad news going into today. They're fined a record $1.2 billion by French antitrust authorities. French Competition Authority said Apple and 2 wholesalers agreed not to compete on price and distribution, sterilizing the wholesale market for Apple products. So maybe that's contributing some of why Apple's really getting hurt, down $37 from that $277. Stay tuned, folks. I'll be coming back to wrap up the program, see what else we have on tap on Monday. Futures limit down. We'll be right back.
I'm certain you are or strive to be one of the best at everything you do in life. It's the most common trait that we tigers and tigresses share. If you're looking to become the best of the best when it comes to managing your money, let me teach you to do what most wealth managers tell you can't be done, which is how to time the markets. I'm Steve Rhodes, author of Mastering Probability, and for the last 12 months, Timer Digest has been tracking my newsletter signals, which have earned me the ranking as their #1 market timer in the nation for the S&P 500 for the last 12, 6, and 3 months. Timer Digest also ranks me as the #1 market timer for gold as well. The fact is, markets can be timed, and I'll teach you the exact set of tools that I use that has transformed me into one of the best at what I do. Sign up for Mastering Probability today by clicking on the newsletter tab on the homepage of TFNN.com and get immediate access to workshops where I take you step by step how to use an extraordinary set of tools as well as provide great market calls too. Sign up today.
If you haven't checked out the newsletters page of TFNN.com, what are you waiting for? All of the TFNN newsletters are informative, up-to-date, affordable, and a must-have for every trader looking to gain a competitive informational edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets to offer you the very latest in market news. Plus, new subscribers get to test drive our newsletters risk-free for 30 days. From all aspects of the markets, including stocks, bonds, metals, commodities, and tech, there's a newsletter to fit your needs exclusively from TFNN. Stay informed each day you trade and get that competitive edge that will help you stay ahead of the game. Visit our newsletters page by going to TFNN.com and click the newsletters button near the top of the page. TFNN.com, educating investors.
You know what's cool? Taking something that's good for you. Something specifically formulated to help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Nico, our hunter and gatherer ancestors found all their nutritional requirements for health in their wild environment. But today, our food sources no longer contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients our bodies need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, soil-based vitamins, minerals, fatty, and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated fulvic and humic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They have been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, life cannot exist without them.
That's right, Paige. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive. We take it every morning.
Primal Edge, formulated and approved by Nico and Paige of Living a Primal Lifestyle. Buy it today for just $89. Click on the Primal Edge banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
Welcome back, folks. We got market limit futures down. Futures limit down, and I stumbled a bit on there. Just pulling up the SPY. That is why, because I'm doing the math. We're now down $30, indicating we came on the program at about 8:30. We were trading at 242. We've had the SPY just drop an additional $3. So you're now down about $30 from the close on Friday. $27 would represent a 10%. So you're now 11%, basically, the SPY, indicating we're going to go up and down. Could we trigger that 13% circuit breaker? Very possible on the open. Going to jump to the 10-year real quick. 0.75%. Ended last week at almost a full percent, so quite a drop there, and a pretty stark visual. So this, John Hopkins tracking the numbers. Total confirmed cases, 169,000. Total confirmed deaths, 6,513. One thing I wanted to point out, the news cycle is just so dramatic right now. It's almost hard to keep track of what news is worthy as the headlines come out. But the numbers out of Italy are pretty alarming, and this may be what is reverberating in terms of politicians reacting. 1,800 deaths in Italy, and you only have 4,590 recovered. Now, you only have 24,000 cases total. That's a much higher mortality rate. They haven't recovered, and the ages of the people being affected, not only old people. Now, of course, higher risk, definitely, on age, but just stark numbers, and you don't want to see that trend continue in terms of deaths versus the number infected and the number recovered. So still some people out there. But checking back, one final check on the markets. SPY 239.63. Markets looking to open about 11% in the red. Stay tuned, folks. Great day to go check out a newsletter at TFNN, right, with this market action. Gold report out today. Larry's got a great report. Larry Pezzimento coming up live at 9 o'clock right after me. I'll be back at 10 o'clock with Tom. Fast market at 11. Of course, Basil Chapman, Steve Rhodes, Dave White, Tom O'Brien, all this afternoon. Stay tuned, folks. We'll be right back with live programming all day at TFNN.